The urge has never left me to explore. So I want to just explore where I haven't been. I want to explore the north of Brazil. I want to explore Central America. I want to explore more Mexico. Like, it's just kind of that urge to explore. I was in Cochabamba, and one day for tourists, we went to one of these like massive kind of markets, and it was like a wild latam thing. And I was just thinking, like, dude, if I had been here when I first started nomading, or even my first year, like, dude, I would be freaking the fuck out. Like, this is fucked. Like, I want to get out of here. Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm gonna get robbed. All these weird kind of the thoughts I used to have were like, now I'm also more comfortable.
You are about to embark on a journey, not just through space and time, but through the very fabric of human perception. Imagine a world where the familiar becomes strange, and the strange becomes familiar. A place where the boundaries of reality blur, and the only limit is your imagination. This is a voyage into the heart of the unknown, where every turn reveals a new perspective, and every story challenges what you thought you knew. Welcome to Bold Perceptions, where we explore the myriad ways people see the world and discover that sometimes the most extraordinary adventures lie just beyond the horizon of our own understanding.
Back in Bold, in a town not many people have heard of besides Cortabanos. I can't pronounce it. Matinos. I'm on the Parana coast. No gringos in sight. I'm in a posada. Graeme, have you ever stayed in a Brazilian posada before?
I have not. Enlighten me, enlighten the audience.
You know what like a bed and breakfast is, right?
Yeah,
Like that kind of hometown, grandma and grandpa have a little hotel, a couple rooms here and there. It's that
yeah,
vibe. We got a little pool out here, own balcony, a block away from the beach. Good service. They tried charging me a cleaning fee for the barbecue, the asado last night, 150
yeah.
reais. I said, no, no, no. We're not playing this little take this and that game. So they shaped up after that, and now we're Hakuna Matata here. No one's here. It's a freaking Monday? I think it's Monday. Yeah.
Yeah,
Graham, I
it's
walked out
Monday.
of my apartment in Coritiba
Yeah.
yesterday, and I said, damn, it's good weather. I need to go to the beach. So I go to Google Maps. I find a nice little spot in Brazil, coastline for freaking miles and miles, and now I'm here. Freedom, my friend.
Freedom, bro. It's true. I am on my end, guys. I am in another very unknown city. I am in the wine capital and the cured ham, the hamon capital of Bolivia. It's a place that you would not really think of Bolivia like. You have beautiful, as I've been sharing, beautiful charcuterie boards, wineries, patios. It's beautiful. Great time here. I'm heading back tomorrow to Santa Cruz, but I'm excited, man, for Rip the Podcast, share some value, and yeah. But I'm in Torija right now.
You know, I got a tweet at you. I'm very proud. You're starting to get off the beaten path. You were in Sucre a couple weeks ago, no?
Yeah, yeah,
I did my research on there. It was one of the most important cities in the New World back in the day with the mining and the Spanish Empire. Like, that was a big time place. I love history. I'd never even freaking heard of it. Now you're there exploring it. You liked it?
yeah. It was good. Yeah, I know. I've been going a little more off the path. I mean, I've always kind of what my kind of play is, and what I think for a lot of people watching this. This is my personal opinion. I think it depends on the person, but I would say probably for not all, but probably for 70% or 80% of guys that do the travel thing, I think the best play is to be in a based up in like the tier one city or maybe tier two, but in my opinion, I think the best typically is to be based up in a tier one city, maybe tier two, and then do some weekend trips. Like what I've done this time in Bolivia is I'm in there. It's like a tier B city, but for them, I'm in their tier one city. Um, in Bolivia, Santa Cruz, and then I've done a lot of trips. So I've been to Tarija, where I'm right now, Sucre, which is a beautiful city, one of the most beautiful cities, actually, I would say, in Latin America. Beautiful. I've been to Sucre, Tarija, um, Samaipata, Cochabamba, and I'm going to La Paz this week.
No, I like that. I think that's where the real adventure happens. You know, everyone can go to Sao Paulo and Rio and Buenos Aires, have a great time, a beautiful time. Great base there, you know what I mean? But get out and about to go see things not many people have seen, feel alive. I'm big into that, so it's super cool. Like I was talking to Zach, you three might be some of the few gringos to spend 3 months in Bolivia, man. But you love the country.
Yeah.
It's been a unique country for you.
Yeah, let's talk more about that. I think we're talking maybe about space system about that too, but I'd love to dive into that now, and then people get both. Yeah, so Bolivia definitely has been a special country for me. And the reason it's been so special, I'll tell you honestly, is the fact that Bolivia is one of those countries that when you think of Bolivia, you think it's going to be fucking horrible. Most people, myself included, were expecting Bolivia as literally like the poorest place in Africa, no infrastructure, nothing modern, not even like food shortages, even like all these things you kind of think of and hear of and whatever. But the reason it's so special for me is because it is absolutely not that at all. Like it's blown my mind the absolute propaganda in Bolivia, and the propaganda in Bolivia comes from different places. I mean, it comes from a lot from Argentina, because for those of you guys that have been to Buenos Aires, or if you haven't been to Buenos Aires or Argentina, a lot of Bolivians, the bad Bolivians, the low class Bolivians, that aren't typically the most upstanding citizens, they come to Argentina and they take advantage of the social situation. There's all the free stuff. So they get all the free things and whatever, and all the free stuff. So there's a big propaganda on that end. And then also there's the thing when Latin America, it's much different than the US or Canada is, or you're like it's or maybe it is now, but it's much different, like in the sense that Latin America is very much race is very much people's mind, very much, which it never used to be in kind of the first world where it is totally here. So people see Bolivia, they think, oh, they are more Indian, whatever, and they get trashed by everywhere else in Latin America, Bolivia and Peru. So like it's just the reason it's so special for me is that I was expecting the fucking worst. I was expecting honestly, like I in my mind, I thought, you know what? I booked in 1 month here in Santa Cruz, Bolivia, which is the biggest city, which is like the New York. It's not, but New York of Bolivia technically. I booked in 1 month. I'm like, you know what? I might leave after a week or 2 weeks. And then I found a country that is actually really solid. I'm happy to dive into all of it, but the Santa Cruz is very solid. Sucre is very solid. Tarija is very solid. Like it's solid so many different ways that you wouldn't expect. I wouldn't, to put a caveat on it before you dive into probably why it's solid. The caveat I will say, I would still not put Bolivia as my favorite country in Latin America, but it's just like it's just the big thing that people know with Libya is just like anywhere else in Latin America. You're gonna expect it's some like fourth world shithole. It's just like the developing world, like anywhere. There's good parts, there's bad parts, there's great parts, shitty parts, etc. But yeah, that's my kind of bottom line Bolivian. If you don't like, we can dive into different cities and all that if you'd like as well.
Yeah, maybe we'll hit onto it, but we'll go right to the big
Sure.
breaking news from Mr. Gramito, who's been working behind the scenes on putting together something to finally monetize his very insightful tweets. And before we get into that, like I don't really advertise it much. I put it like in some of these descriptions, so some dudes watching this maybe have done a call with me, consultation, and I don't mind doing it, especially if it doesn't revolve around where's the easiest woman, where's the cheapest place, and I can't stand those type of conversations. But I done consultation too. Now I know you're going into the school group that's going to have like guides and local connects and so forth. And me personally, like I've always been a dude that doesn't pay for courses, doesn't pay for to talk to nobody. Like I'm like I'll figure it out on my own, or I create value and they're going to talk to me willingly. I don't got to freaking pay them. But the more I get older, the more I realize how much time is money, and I could eliminate all these BS mistakes like traveling. When someone comes to me about Italy or Poland or South America, and the amount of information I give them saves them thousands of dollars, right? And
Yeah.
I start thinking, damn, maybe I should have just done that in the past and not wasted all this time on the ground. So, great pitch for you, by the way. But I want to get into your school program here and what you're offering. Is it just a basic latam bro circle jerk, or are you actually going to provide value?
Yeah, so I'll get to the bottom line of it, but basically and thanks for that. But the biggest thing is I'll tell you what it is, but I'll tell you first why. I'll tell you what it is first, and then I'll tell you why I made it. So basically this is, in my opinion, this is the absolute best product, at least in this space. I'll tell you the reason why. Is what it is you have two components. So you have multiple components. You have one component which is literally everything, single thing you need to know or would want to know about different cities. We have 20 current city guides, and we're going to be adding more and more as I travel. We're going to be adding all the ones in Bolivia in this week. We're going to be adding Peru next month. We're going to be Arequipa, Peru, area of Lima, but we're not Arequipa. We're going to have all these. But you basically get 20 city guides at the moment, super in depth. It covers everything you need. It covers everything from it starts off with the kind of a general background in the city. Then it goes into what's the year-round weather. Because like a lot of guys, they think, oh fuck, Latin America, it's so warm, whatever. They get to a city and it's rainy season. They get to a city and it's cold as shit, right? So like we have weather, we have back in the city, we have pros and cons. If you even like it, the best neighbor to stay, and we have like 4 or 5 neighbors broken down. You get a huge list of all the best restaurants. Anyone that follows me on Twitter just knows in general I'm a guy that I like my restaurants. I've tried in most cities. I've tried all the best restaurants. You get all the restaurants, the cocktail bars, cigar lounges, what local food to try, what weekend trips to do. Hey, here are the 7 best weekend trips to do. You get, and that's just there's 23 categories of things. There's so like the first part is like you can literally go in here, find out where you want to go, everything you need about the city. That's the first part. But the second part is the challenge for all of us, even people like Nick or myself who are pretty confident and networking, whatever. For all of us, the pain point in Latin America, all of us will agree that one of the shittiest things about traveling and doing this lifestyle is the fact that every single city you start over, new social circle. It sucks. It sucks. Every city. It's like what we have as well as we have the community aspect. So I'm going to be hosting meetups. I'm going to connect you. If I'm like, hey, John is in Medellin. And Sam's in Medellin. Connect you both together, right? So we have that. You get on top of that, you get a lot of other stuff. You get access to all my local connections. Any question you want answered, you can ask. Just a lot of things. And as far as the price point, we're starting it at $20 a month. But yeah, I think it's not for everyone, but I think for the vast majority of people, the community alone is worth the money. And then especially when you add on the personalized help, you add on the guides, you add on the contacts, you had all other stuff. I think it's very worth it. But that's the breakdown of what we've kind of launched and what we're launching to the Twitter audience right now.
Good pitch. Okay, let's hammer down on that first part before we go into the part that
Sure.
I really like, the second part. Okay, how much of that can be replaced by AI, Gramito, right? Like, obviously, the AI sends you to most reviewed places or whatnot, but I can just search on there, hey, where's the best cigar bar or this and that? What is the
Yeah.
real value of these guides that can't be replicated 80% through the AI? Tell me why that first part, the city guides and when the weather is good or not, is no different than AI. What makes it somewhat valuable?
A lot of reasons. I'll tell you the first reason why. And the weather obviously you can find. I just have certain things I have, like certain things you can find yourself. I just have in there to save time. Because the thing is, as Nick said, like myself too, like the more you live life on this planet, the more you know that time is fucking valuable. Yeah, you go prompt, what's the weather? That's the first thing. But the second thing is there's a multiple to it. But the second thing is anyone that has used AI. Actually, one second thing first. That's the third thing. Second thing is the fact that a lot of information you cannot find on AI. I mean, for example, um, AI does not know, not to get into the dating, but AI, when I put down, like, we suppose a dating scene, for example, AI has no fucking clue of the dating scene. When you put down the best restaurants, AI doesn't know. Like, I've so many times for work, I've asked, like, for content with clients, what are the best restaurants next to the city? It's just the wrong one. So, like, there's a lot of things that you need a human touch for. Like, I've experienced the best restaurants, I've experienced the best cocktail bars, I've experienced where you go to get this certain tour that actually works. Like I've experienced the actual cost of living, right? So there's a lot of things that like AI just doesn't know, and that led to the third point. The problem is, as we all know, using AI hallucinates. AI will always give you an answer, but the answer will not always be correct, and that's the issue. It maybe 50% that will be, but like the thing is for me is like all this knowledge is 100% correct. The reason why it really makes sense is the fact that number one, you get the human aspect, but more importantly, you're saving time with 100% guaranteed correct information. That's the reason why it's super, super important and why, unfortunately, AI is just not there yet.
Finding a good work cafe right out the gate saves me so much freaking time. I don't
Yeah, it's
recommend
true.
going to that work cafe every freaking day. You got to switch it up, otherwise you get into autopilot mode. But how many times it's taken me to go 5, 6 different cafes to finally find the one that is comfortable, cozy, has good Wi-Fi? If I just have it out the gate, that's very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, Grant,
Yeah.
let's test your
Sure.
knowledge then. So let's see if you're
Sure.
bullshitting or not.
Sure.
Name 3 cities out of the 20 city guides for me that come to your mind.
Uh, Let's go Buenos Aires, Lima, Mexico City. I mean, I could give you go all 20, but that's three.
Okay, Lima, best cigar lounge.
Doesn't have a cigar lounge in Lima, but for the cigar lovers in Lima, a couple options you have, and you'll see in the guide. They have two Casa del Habanos. One Casa, which you can buy cigars, they're official Cuban. Unfortunately, the one in Miraflores, the one in the main neighborhood, is closed right now for renovation. They have one out in what's the neighborhood called? They've one out like maybe a 15-minute drive. It's in one of the wealthy neighborhoods. Forget it. And there's also a cigar lounge in or there's also a cigar place to buy them that's pretty good in San Isidro. And you can buy them, no Cubans, but buy them as well. That's a good answer for Lima for cigars.
Okay, Buenos Aires, where's the best steakhouse that's not going to cost me $400 now in that crazy economy?
If you want the best underrated steakhouse, local as fuck, it's not a place that you go for ambience and pictures and Instagram and all that. But if you want the best, like super cheap, hole in the wall, probably the best in Trania. If you guys know that cut I had in my whole year in Buenos Aires, you want that place? It's Don Niceto. If you want a little bit higher end places, I mean, it wouldn't cost 400, but a little bit higher end. Like Fervar's very good in Recoleta. Elena's very good at the Four Seasons. La Carniceria is pretty good in Palermo Soho. La Cabrera, obviously. Um, you have Fogon Asado is really good higher end. Those are some good kind of higher end spots if you want a bit higher end. But if someone wants like a cheap, great local, just fucking hole in the wall spot, Don Niceto, I can recommend it 100% to anyone.
Where was that third city you said?
That's Buenos Aires, but Don Niceto's in it
No,
just outside. Oh, what? What did you say?
no. The third city. You said Lima, Buenos
Oh,
Aires, what
oh,
else?
the third city, Mexico City.
Okay, Mexico City, the best cozy date spot to take a nice, what do they call them in Mexico City, the girls from there?
Fresa, if you want the ones from Polanco. There's a lot, man. To be honest, I like. I mean, not a lot of guys don't like doing this, but I just kind of would do it. It's not that expensive. I would go a lot to this one place. It's called is it Citizen? What's the name? Sorry, it's a there's a couple good ones. There's Ling Ling, and I think it's Citizen in the is in the Sofitel rooftop. Those are good. Beyond that, if you want other day spots, what I would kind of do, I wouldn't. I mean, depends where you go. What I would do for dates a lot of my cities, I would just take girls, and we would go to like depends on the what date. If it was like a third date or something, I typically go to like a good thing to do is you go to Polanco, you walk around the main street, Avenue Presidente Mazarik, you walk there, and then go to a restaurant, nice restaurant there. If it's like a first date thing, um, honestly, I would just typically just my style. I mean, depends what I would do, but for a first date, generally, I typically would just choose like a kind of a mid-range cheaper spot. It could literally be like a Mexican restaurant or like something kind of a little bit on the lower end, maybe like just stuff like that. But yeah, I mean if you want a nice higher end spot, on the later dates, I took a lot of girls to that one at Sofitel. I think it's Citizen. It's the one rooftop in Sofitel. Super nice. Ling Ling super nice. Or I'd recommend maybe in Polanco, one of those nice restaurants there.
Give me three more cities on the guide.
Sure. Sure. Let me think. Three more cities in the guide. I was thinking of the complete ones. I guess I can give any. We can do Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo. We could do Santa Cruz is a good one. Sao Paulo, Santa Cruz. Let's do Assumption as well. Let's do Sao Paulo, Santa Cruz, Assumption.
Okay, for each three, cost of living to live a very solid life, and what does that all include?
Well, Sao Paulo's the most. I mean, I'll give you an unpopular opinion, but I think Sao Paulo is one of the only, maybe Mexico City too, but Sao Paulo is one of the cities in Latin America. I do not recommend Sao Paulo if you were really on a budget. And the reason is this is like a lot of cities, even Mexico City, which is also a bit more on the higher end pricing wise. Mexico City, for example, has a lot of free or inexpensive entertainment. You can go to the different fucking parks, and there's all these different things. Free music, like there's all these things you can do that are free and cheap and whatever. Sao Paulo has a few, but it's not that way. Like really, if you want to enjoy Sao Paulo, the only way to enjoy Sao Paulo is to enjoy the elite restaurant scene, the elite cocktail bars, like great cigar lounges, going out with women. Like it's in a city you got to spend money in, right? So like I think for Sao Paulo, might be unpopular opinion, but if you want to live like you can live for cheaper, but if you want to have a good time in Sao Paulo, I would spend minimum, honestly, 4 grand a month. That's the highest on the list, by the way. Obviously, a good time, so Paulo. I would probably spend 4 grand a month. You can get a solid, well, maybe a little. You can get a solid place for about um depending where, but like 1.5, 2 grand a month for a pretty nice place in Sao Paulo. It's not cheap again. And now obviously it's one of nice areas. Like that'd be E10 BB. That would be in maybe an Oscar Fry, but it's hard to find a bigger place. But I would say that and rent for a nice place. And then you have another maybe 2 grand a month or so to play with. That will allow you to obviously like you can eat out every day. You can go to a high end spot like once or twice a week. But that even like that's what I mean. Like even with spending $500 a week, right, 2 grand a month, you're not going to be going in Sao Paulo to the nicest spots every day. There's no way. Like if you want to really like have a baller time in Sao Paulo, I would probably put the number at like. I might surprise people, but I'd probably put them like 7 grand a month would probably spend. So like that's Sao Paulo. That's a different ballgame. Sao Paulo is one of the only city in Latin that's kind of like that. If you wanted the other city we mentioned, one was Santa Cruz. So Santa Cruz is by far the least expensive major city in Latin America. Bolivia is least expensive. So if you want to have a great time in Santa Cruz, um, that's going to be done. Like living king living is done on less than 2 grand a month in Santa Cruz. Like king, like that 7 grand a month in Sao Paulo is done on probably less than 2 grand, probably 1.7K, 2K a month for that 7K. That 4K living I described in Sao Paulo, which is like nice apartment, all the stuff. That is done in Santa Cruz. Honestly, is gonna surprise you. That's done on probably $1,000 a month in Santa Cruz. You can go up to the nicest. Well, no, maybe even less, but like probably $1,000 in Santa Cruz is like great living. 1,200 in Santa Cruz. You got your one bedroom for $300. You have your other stuff, but like so, like I would put Santa Cruz king living 2 grand a month. Very good living in that 1K to 1.5K range spend. And then
King
lastly,
living for 2 grand
I'm
a month.
telling
Obviously,
you, well,
it's
bro,
crazy time right
it's
now, but
crazy.
2 grand a
So
month.
yeah, well, I'll break it down for you as well. So the nicest place in the nicest place in Santa Cruz in Seneki Patrol, it's called Green
And you need
Tower.
cash though. Don't forget, you have
Yeah,
to bring
for sure,
cash.
USD cash. But the nicest place, right? Nicest place. Is beautiful, like gorgeous place. Like, and I'll describe the place, but super modern apartment. It's called Green Tower. You're getting yourself a one bedroom in Green Tower for about 800 to 950 a month. In this Green Tower, as I mentioned, ultra modern. It has the nicest cocktail bar in the city, like rooftop bar, like up not rooftop. It's top floor, 30, I think 34th floor. Beautiful luxury place. You have that in the building. You have the most expensive restaurant in the city in the building as well. You have a co-working space at the bottom of the building. You have a gym. You have like incredible, right? And that's only costing you about, let's call it $900 a month, maybe 950, but $9 a month. And then you have to realize, like, dude, like the best restaurants up or the best restaurant in Santa Cruz, the best one. That's only costing you. I mean, from a cost perspective, the best restaurant that's costing like I'll give you an example. Say you go out with say you go with a girl, right? You take a girl on a date and you go it's like maybe a third date. You want to go to the nicest restaurant, not just like whatever. Like you want or she likes you for you, whatever. It's not like one of those things. You go to a restaurant like Tinto. Tinto is one of the nice restaurants. It's in called, I think called Mazzana 40. Great restaurant, one of my favorites. You go to Tinto. Steak, I believe, is about one steak is about $12, I believe, and a steak's about $12. That's a big steak, but then the steak comes with like two or three sides. You get the steak, you get like fries, you get a salad, you get rice, huge steak, and let's say maybe you get a bottle of wine too. Like that would probably be good for two because you get all those sides, right? A bottle of wine, probably like a decent bottle of wine, maybe another $8 or $10, or you can get less. But like me, so like you're spending $22 at like the nicest restaurant for two, right? Like that's an example, and that's if you're going high end, right? So like you could someone could if a single guy could eat out every day at a nice restaurant, and they would not spend more than $20 a day on food. No chance, right? So that's only like it's insane. So that means that $2,000 a month lifestyle in Santa Cruz is best restaurant every single day, you can go golfing all the time if you want. A lot of options for that. Golfing, best restaurant every single day, best apartment, and that's like going to be probably maybe 2 grand a month, maybe 2,100, maybe $800. It's a crazy time right now in Bolivia. It's insane. But yeah,
I hit that third one, Assumption.
sure. Assumption. So Assumption, I would say living good in Assumption. Living good in Assumption is probably about $2,000 a month is what I would say living good. That's not king, but living good. Living that would be like you get yourself a pretty nice one bed for probably a grand or 1.2 or 1.1, 1.2, and then you have another maybe 800 a month on spend. Because the thing is in Ascension, like why it's so low in Ascension? Yeah, Ascension's super cheap, but also Ascension, funny enough, I think we know this last time, but Ascension actually has way less high end things to spend money on than even Santa Cruz. Like Ascension doesn't have that much. You're gonna hit maybe like a restaurant called La Cabrera, which a lot of you guys might know, right? But like you got La Cabrera, you hit Patria, you hit Toro. Like these are even a steak there is like, dude, it's like you're probably getting a steak and wine for one person for $25, right? It's not that maybe less even. It's not like it's like there's not much to spend money on. It's like I would say living good is like eating out every day and all
Hold on,
that.
hold on.
I'd
You
say
can buy all the
two, two point
electronics
five.
you want,
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
watches, like the taxes aren't crazy at all. So like high end luxury items you can spend a lot of money on, but day to day life, okay, I agree with you.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, for sure. I'm not talking like I'm not. All these are outside one time per. Because obviously, if you go buy a Rolex in any city, it's going to be it's all these are outside one time. If you're buying if you're shopping, whatever. But like one time, like for monthly kind of expenses besides one time purchases, yeah, like there's not the same. Like I mean, there's not a huge robust. There's some good restaurants, but there's not a hugely robust high end restaurant scene. There's not a hugely robust place you're going to go to spend a bunch of money at the bar. Like there's just not hugely robust. I would put good living in Ascension outside one time purchases at about probably 2 grand a month, maybe a little more, a little less, but in that range depending on your apartment. King living, again, the thing with Assumption is like there's not that many things to spend money on. Like, yeah, there's electronics. Yeah, you could go buy like they do have a Rolex store if you really like, but like outside those type of things, there's just not that much to really spend on. I think living king level in Assumption is probably 3 or 3.5 grand a month is what I would put for king level, just
I
because
think
like
the biggest expense is probably the gym. The gyms are like weirdly
yeah,
expensive. You know
yeah,
that good one, but there
yeah,
really
yeah.
is nothing to do there besides work,
Yeah,
asado, chill. Like you just
I
that's what you
agree.
do.
Like you get a nice two bed, two bath for like, probably 1.4, 1.5 grand. And that if you want to spend like say you spend 3.5 grand, like it's pretty hard to spend another 2 grand. You have your gym for 100 bucks, 200, whatever. I think it's 100, I think it's 80, but whatever it is. 100, 200 bucks a month, whatever. Let's even pretend your gym. Like you go if you went every day to La Cabrera, which is like one of the most expensive restaurants there, that would only probably cost you another like I don't know, 25 a day. So like it cost you like another like 750 a month. Like it's impossible. Like I would put even probably 3 grand a month, maybe 3.5 grand a month. That's living king in Ascension for that city.
All right, good job. Okay, the second part, which is what I'm
Sure.
very interested in because I saw you firsthand do it. I saw it a little bit in the Telegram group. The Telegram group kind of got a tad bit crazy,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
access to local connections. Okay, this could make or break trips. This could get you the best deals. This could show you everything no tourist sees. It's very important when you travel to get in on the ground with people that are cool. My question is, okay, that's great you have them, but is one dude in freaking Coritiba, our boy, Scar, is he gonna want to meet with 50 dudes that come through there, or how are you gonna manage that aspect? And do you actually have connects that are gonna help you out in each of these cities?
Sure. So not everyone. Like every city that I've stayed an extended period of time, yes, I do. Not like if I did a weekend trip, obviously no. But because I'll break it down for you as well. Like as far as the guides, we have probably about half, or maybe a little less than half, are like full meaty, like extremely meaty guys. The others are still very, very like there's a lot of information in them, but like I have weekend trip guides and I have like full on nomads. So, like example, like a place like Foz do Iguazu, right? I have a guide on that in Brazil. But like it's a guide for a weekend. So it's a guide for like something like Foz do Iguazu I don't have little connections. Or something like a Sunshine, yeah. Something like Curitiba, yeah. Like all these, like whatever. All the places I've stayed, I have connections. Now, as far as what those look like, I will connect some people, like our boy Joa, but like that's less than my connections. Like when I mean my connections more is like, I have a lot of access. For example, in a lot of these cities, I have access to different people that if you can rent from, not an Airbnb, you get a way better deal. Right, that alone would like so you have that. I have a lot of connections to different, like I'm from meeting people, different like sports groups, right? If guys are into paddle or pickleball or tennis or basketball, I have a lot of these groups in Assumption and Curitiba in different cities, right? And I also have connections, of course, of like a lot of people I know, but I think it's just connecting people like with what someone needs, and I have that, and I think that's a big advantage because the thing is like a lot of people everyone's different strengths. For me, I think, and I think you would probably agree, Nick, but probably one of my bigger strengths I have is my ability to network. Like, oh, I'm relatively good at it. So, like, I think that's a huge. I'm able to leverage that kind of skill to get people into the right rooms. It doesn't mean always, hey, I'm going to connect you with this person I know in the city, like this friend for friendship. It's more like I'm gonna connect you with this person so you can get a better deal here. Hey, here's a tour guide I know, legit, fair, not a scammer, connect you there. And then that's more like it's more as far as the kind of quote unquote friendship connections. Um, that will more happen with people in the group. Like I'll be like, hey, as I mentioned earlier, John's in Medellin, Sam's in Medellin, boom, connect. Or hey, I'm in like when I'm in Lima, right? When I'm gonna be in Lima later this year, I'm like, hey, I'm in Lima, seven other guys in Lima, we're gonna have a full meetup, right? We'll get together, we'll do stuff. So like as far as the connections, that'll be members of the group. And then as far as the kind of like the play people I connect you with, that'll be more saving you money, saving you time. Here's a really good, you can just text his Uber driver, he's really good. And he'll help you for whatever. You get the idea. Stuff like that and tour guides and all that you can just connect you to in a better way.
Worst case, you at least get those local guys in the group and they share their wisdom about the place when they want to. You got to push them somehow, make it worth their while. But if you can get their advice, to the local real thing in that group for people,
For
it's huge.
sure.
And yeah, if they bond with someone or they do want to meet up one time and show Gringo around, because these local people can also be like, hey, maybe we can make business, or maybe you can show me
Yep.
something, or there could be a win-win out of the relationship. So let me ask you though, I come into this group, okay, and
Yep.
I go to one of these 20 cities, and I'm a solo traveler. And what are you gonna do for me? Hey Graham, I want to talk to someone that local is here, and maybe I can get his number. I text him in the Telegram group so we can hang out and get a coffee. How is that gonna work?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is for me, especially the first members, the first 100, 200, 300, 400 members, as we're building up the network effect, the biggest thing for me is as I was with business, I'm a very high touch guy, and I'm a very like for me, my main thing. It doesn't matter how much money you give me, even less than $20 a month. If someone gives me money and they're expecting a service, I feel in my heart that I need to provide that and more. I feel like I need to provide like 5x. Like the biggest thing for me is all the members that join. Until we get to an overwhelming amount. But in the first probably 400, 500 members reoccurring that we have, and then we'll have a team that does it. But like, I will understand what are your goals. Like, let's say you join or whoever joins, right? They join. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna text you, hey man, like, why did you join? What can I help you with? Like, are you only here for the guides? Is your big thing you want to be able to like meet people? Is your big thing you want those little connections? Like, what is your kind of reason? And then I will provide value based on that. So if you're like, dude, you know what? Um, I know you wouldn't experience like if you're like, dude, you know what? I'm in Bolivia, for example, and I'm planning to go to Tarija. Like, what else can you do for me? If you might want more. Like, I mean, I'll have the guide. Maybe like you, what else can you do for me? I'll be like, hey, you know what, bro? Like, um, I use this people. Here's their WhatsApp. I use this people called Viva Tours. Incredible tour. It was only you can go three wineries, $12. Hey, talk to them. They're trusted. They're good. Door service, great, right? Or you're like, yeah, okay, cool, great. I'm like, hey, you know what? Here, go to this place. Here, like, it's more like understanding what is because everyone has different goals. Like, what is your goals for? I would say for probably the 90% of people, the guides alone cover everything, and then also the kind of the community effect of kind of like the being able to like meet up with people and all that. But it just depends on your goals. Like I'm gonna ask every individual, "What's your goals? How can I help you?" And then I'll help them based on the personal needs. But whatever those needs are.
So glorified travel agent, you ready for that? That's gonna be a lot of work, Mr. Graham.
I mean, it is, but it's not. And the reason why is like it is if the guides weren't complete, like meaning if the guides that's exactly what's on the guides the way they are. Because like if the guides were fucking half-assed, yeah, there would be a lot of work. Like because I but like that you'll see, I'll send you some. But like, dude, like these guides, they answer 99.9% of any question you would have. Like, there's very little else you're gonna want to know. And the stuff you're gonna want to know, people are gonna ask in the group chat, or they're gonna ask for it in the school. And that's the thing about school, which is nice, is like it's reliant on a community. So meaning like people are gonna ask questions. It's not just relying on me. Someone's gonna ask, hey. I'm in Rio. I saw in the group the people that I saw in the guide that you should stay in like either LeBlanc, probably LeBlanc, Ipanema, Copacabana, based on these things. But like, what are your guys' opinion? And then it will be not just me, but 7 other guys responding, right? It's like, yeah, it's a lot of work, but like the thing is, like for me, it's just like it's providing the best value you can provide. The guides will handle 90% to be fair. The community will handle the other 9%, 99%, and then the other 1%. I'm very happy to help out with and make sure that people are on the right track by answering if they need any questions to me. I'll answer for myself.
How many actual apartment Airbnb contacts do you have?
I have a lot. I would say because the thing is, I used to. I do a little bit less now. But what I used to do is I used to like do 3 months, and I would stay in like 1 month, 1 month per, like I would like say 3 months, and I would stay in three different places, right? I don't know why I did that. It was kind of dumb. I don't do that anymore. But so I've quite a few. I think for connections more depends on the city. I think like I don't know for every city. I don't know every city. Sunshine has some good ones. I have good ones for well, good ones for Sunshine, Santa Cruz. Um, Sunshine, Santa Cruz, Lima. I have different good ones, but I think that's less like that will be a connection. But I think more like it just depends on the city, right? Like I don't know, it depends on the city. Like I think as far as kind of like the connections, some cities are very heavy on um like sports groups, right? Some cities are very heavy on Airbnb. So it depends on it depends on the city. It depends on the city, really, to be honest, of what I have. But especially now, like to elaborate on that, like now, one really good thing is now that I have this community is like um I'm very diligent. I now know like, hey, I need to get these connect. I need to get these certain things now. Like while I'm in these cities, I'm kind of looking out for them. But yeah, I have a solid handful. So most of the connections are a mix of like different sports groups. Some air like I have a solid amount of obviously air like people that you like non-direct kind of rentals. I have a lot of connections of people. Depending on the demand for that, like if the demand's not so high, I'll leverage those people. Like, hey, meet. Like you're cool. My buddy's cool. Meet. But if the demand's super high, I won't do that. But I have a handful of different connections for different things. It's kind of like the connections part.
I would offer to dudes either the free membership or a discount if they can provide that kind of value too. Because we all have
Yeah,
numbers from our
for
past
sure.
Airbnbs. Throw them in there, you'll get a way better rate, discount, and you can start taking a cut from that too. You're marketing different Airbnbs, but
Yeah,
tell me about that sports group part because that's something I've never done on my own. I've been part of a team if I do it.
yeah.
What? How big of a pro is that in your LATAM travels? It's been monumental or what?
I think it depends on the person. I think it depends on what your obviously your hobbies are. For me, yeah, I mean, it's something I really like doing. Is sports. I played a lot of hockey growing up. But obviously that's not a thing here. So like for me, I played hockey in the winter normally, and then in the summer I would play tennis. Like for me, I'm a pretty big and a lot of guys I've noticed a lot of guys in Latin America are the same way. I'm a pretty big like paddle sport guy, like any or not like racket paddle whatever. Like I like pickleball. We played a little bit. I played like pickleball, I like paddle, I like tennis, even like ping pong, badminton, whatever. So like I know a lot of guys in the Latam community, they're very into paddle for whatever reason. So like I have a lot of those different groups that start playing, where you can just get in there, like because that's a hard thing to find. Like in other countries in the world, like Spain or whatever, for paddle, there's different apps that are easy. You go on the app. To organize a game is easy. Latam doesn't have that as much, at least I'm not aware of it. So like I have different groups where you can just go in there and you can get in there and you can go play paddle with a bunch of people and whatever. And hey, it's every Wednesday and Sunday we play paddle, right? So you get different stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's been a big thing. But it depends on the person for sure. But for me, yeah, I really enjoy kind of once twice a week going out and playing.
I think it's mandatory for any dude that is solo traveler. Not only do you stay in shape, clear your head when you start thinking dumb
Yeah,
shit, while you're lonely, but the local friends, okay? Paddle,
yeah,
okay, do these little groups, whatnot, but basketball is huge.
yeah,
Every court has
huge.
games going.
Yeah,
Go pull up there, shoot some shots, and the people you meet, the energy you get from working out is monumental for dudes on the road traveling solo. Okay, so I
yeah,
highly recommend that. Don't just go put your earphones in and work out in a gym and not talk to anyone. Go be an athlete. Go do team sports because it will be massive for your multiple different issues. So I
Yeah, I
like that a
agree.
lot. Graham, is this all going to be about girls? This group chat thing and where's the easiest woman and all that? Because I hate that.
No, so I learned a lot of lessons. I mean, I have no issue if with like, and I know you don't either with like, genuine questions until it gets to like a weird. It's just when it gets weird. No, I learned a lot. So, my initial plan was this. My initial plan a couple months back was, and you know this, my initial plan was to do the school community and then also do a Telegram group. So I launched a Telegram group. Actually, was going, as you remember, really, really, really well. Incredible. It's totally free at that time. Like incredible engagement, active, etc. But I kind of took a different stance. Like I like a lot of us, those of you guys watching. Like I'm a pretty big like free speech advocate. I'm like, you know what, dude, if you say it, whatever. But like, there's a line between free speech and then degrading a space. So the issue of the Telegram was a couple different issues. I'm not active in there anymore, and it kind of died off because I wasn't active. Is a couple of issues. Number one issue, realistically, to be totally frank, is the fact that, like, for me, the why I'm doing a school community and why I made the school so comprehensive, the guides and all that, and like the community is like because I want to be able to market it, provide a great product, but not be in it all day, right? And spending so much time on it. I'll be in it every single day. I'll be in there answering questions, but it's not like a thing where like if I'm in the Telegram, it's a very time intensive. It's group chat, messages, whatever. That's one thing. The second thing, the issue with Telegram was like I was kind of too pro free speech, where I let anyone say anything. So as you guys know, with the kind of Telegram, Twitter types, it can very fast go from a latam group chat to a racism group chat to a crazy group chat, right? So like that was an issue. So for me, like I'm still, as always, I'm a free speech guy, but I understand that like when people pay X amount of dollars to join this school community, they are not joining to hear John from Detroit's opinion on colored people, right? That's not exactly why they're joining. They're joining because they want access to guides, they want community, they want all those things. So as far as your question about is it going to be all girls, is it going to be no, it's not. I'm not going to have. I have no issue. Someone asks like, "Hey, how's the dating scene in Buenos Aires?" Right? That's a normal question. People are curious about that. It's when it gets. I'm not, but you're not going to be able to be like, like just like really cross the line. Which like so that's the thing. Like my only real rules for the group will be like, and people don't. I don't care like your opinion, whatever. But like, people don't come to this group for your opinion on people's race. People don't come to this group for your opinion on politics. It's just no political shit, no race shit, no ultra creepy girl shit. And then beyond that, like I'm good with maybe basically anything, but just I don't want it to get political or racy or whatever. Just I want to keep it on topic to answer your question.
Beleza. All right, what do you got planned coming up, Graham? I know you're moving north more, and then
Yeah.
go into the next year or two after.
Yeah, so it's a little bit up in the air because as we were with your residency kind of plug, Julieta, it's a little up in the air only because I might swing back. My girlfriend, just gone ever. My girlfriend, she's getting a residency through maybe Nick will plug that as well. It's a great service, but she's getting a residency with an Argentina citizenship through one of Nick's connections. So we might need to head back to Buenos Aires for 3 months in next year. That's a likelihood at some point. I don't really feel like going back because I've been there a year, but I don't mind. I like Buenos Aires, so I might head back to Argentina for 3 months. That's a possibility. But if not that, as far as my upcoming plans, a lot of content coming, a lot of stuff that you're seeing on the ground. So we have coming an Arequipa. Arequipa is coming next month. Peru, by far known as the best tier B city in all of Peru. It's relatively big, 1 million people, beautiful city, restaurants, pretty affordable. Like I have it for all these watching. It's insane. I don't even know how it's possible. I'll send you a link after. It's a nice place too. I don't know how I got this. I have a I have a 3 bed, 2 bath, or 3 bed, 3 bath, whatever, 3 bed, maybe 2 or 3 bath in Arequipa, right in the center, like maybe a 5 minute walk from the center. A good location, which is where you want to be in the center in Arequipa, and it's like I think it's 700, less than $700 a month, just insane, right? So, anyways, but like I'm going there, Arequipa. Then I'm going to Cusco. I'm gonna do a lot of travel that month. I'm gonna go back to Machu Picchu. I'm gonna do kind of the whole Sacred Valley tour, Pisac, go back to Ollantaytambo, kind of just all travel around, do that. That would be my month of travel. November, December, hitting over to Lima when the weather gets nice. big city life, enjoy, and then next year a possible Argentina. That is, I don't know. That's likely going to happen, and we're going to just see. I got to talk more. I haven't really engaged much about what we need to do for the residency or whatever. But like the probably or the citizenship. So probably Argentina at some point. But 2026 is the year of again places I have not been, and then unlocking more places on the map, and thus unlocking more guides for you guys. So that's going to be the year of I'm going to do a Central America tour. I'm going to do everywhere. I think I'm going to do Panama. I'm going to do Panama, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Guatemala, everywhere, everywhere. I probably missed a few, but everywhere in Central America. I think I'm going to do Colombia. I think I'm going to do Ecuador. I think so. I think it's going to be so that it's only if I go to Argentina, some will be off the list, but it's likely going to be Ecuador, Colombia, Central America, and then maybe mix in Argentina and then subtract a few of those that I mentioned.
You had to get a bunch of advice from our boy Joe about Central America.
I need to, man. I need to, man. I think he likes it. I think it'll be fun. I've never I've been to I've been to Panama and Costa Rica, but not enough. Panama was literally like a day, so I don't really even count that. I trash on Twitter as a joke, but I always tell everyone I've actually only been for a day, so I don't really like it's. I would like to give it another chance, Panama City. In Costa Rica when I was young, so I'd love to go back, man. I think beautiful, beautiful nature. You got some great cities like Antigua and Guatemala is a beautiful city. Like apparently great restaurants,
Yeah,
colonial
what's that
beauty
house he's at?
city.
That huge
Beauty,
villa
yeah,
on that lake. I want
yeah.
to go there.
We should do it. That one's in Lake Atlantin, I think Lake Atlantin. It's the second biggest lake in Latin America. It's huge, huge lake, right? You can just post up in the lake, great price, beauty house. So yeah, I want to do that. Like, I mean, it's just beautiful. Like, you go to Guatemala, you get to go to that big lake. You go to Guatemala City, which apparently actually not that bad. Antigua, you got Nicaragua. You have San Miguel del Sur, which is apparently pretty great. Check that out. Panama City, of course. You got a lot of places. Boquete in Panama. You have so many. You got yeah, a lot. You got Honduras, which is a bit more unpopular. Apparently, it's pretty dangerous right now, at least based on my what people say on Twitter. But you have like the Rotan on Honduras, which is exciting. I mean, I want to do all of that. It's kind of right now for me. Like I think I'll always be more of like a tier one, um, or tier A city guy. I think for me, but um. right now I'm in a phase of like I've spent in basically the not all, but the majority of tier one cities I've spent a lot of time in. Like I've spent at least 2 or 3 months in the majority of them. So like I've done that. So like now I want to explore more. So I want to explore like the I haven't been to Ecuador. I haven't been to certain regions of Colombia. I haven't been to Central America. So I want to kind of explore more of that. And kind of and I'll obviously well explore more. It'll be good for content. Share more. Build even more of the guides. All that good stuff as well.
Well, expand on that because you were for a long time. Oh, I'm not a hippie backpacker, hostel staying dude. Oh, you guys are all goofy, but now you're starting to do it. So, what is calling you towards it besides already seeing the main stuff? And what is the feeling? What's the difference from the tier A's to off the beaten path?
Well, that's correct you there. I'm still not a hippie hostel thing guy. I'm still not doing that. But I am exploring. Well, I've always to be fair to myself. I have always kind of. It's not that different, to be fair. Like I'll tell you the difference, but I'll tell you what's not different. What's not different is like every single place I've been. Even when I first started, like when I was in Mexico City, right? I was in Mexico City. We did like a weekend trip to Puebla. Like I've always kind of done weekend trips to um, different places. So that's not changed. What's kind of changed is the fact that like I'm considering, and I will be, and I have, by the way based up in more like for example I based up in Asuncion, Paraguay, which is like for 3 months, which is like not a like it's not it's kind of it's pretty hyped, but it's still not a tier like it's a tier a lower tier city, right? Or based up in Santa Cruz, which is it's great for Bolivia, but it looks like I've kind of changed in that way. And to tell you totally bluntly, it's not that I've changed. Like I still do the exact same thing. That I still go here and go to nice restaurants and my cigar and whatever. But it's the only difference I'll say is the fact that it's more just I have that kind of that something in me that it hasn't left me, which is that urge to kind of explore. And that's I think that's the biggest. And it's kind of maybe I've always had that, but like it initially was like I just want to explore, and I'd never been anywhere. So like I'm a typically guy that likes cosmopolitans. I'm like, dude, I want to go to Buenos Aires. I want to go to Mexico City. I want to go to Sao Paulo. I want to go to Lima. I want to explore. Then I'm like, oh. I've been to all those. I've loved all those, but I want to still explore. So now it's about just exploring places that I haven't been. And for sure, the more you're in Latin America, the more comfortable you are. Like I was just thinking, like I was in Cochabamba, and one day for tourists, and we went to one of these like massive kind of markets, and it was like a wild Latam thing. And I was just thinking, like, dude, if I had been here when I first started nomading or even my first year, like, dude, I would be freaking the fuck out. Like, this is fucked. Like, I want to get out of here. Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm gonna get robbed. All these weird kind of those thoughts I used to have. But like, now I'm also more comfortable. So I think it's an aspect of like, I'm much more comfortable in this environment now than I used to be. And then also the urge has never left me to explore. So I want to just explore where I haven't been. I want to explore the north of Brazil. I want to explore more of the south of Brazil. I've been to a bit, but I want to explore more. I want to explore like Porto Alegre, northeast. I want to explore Central America. I want to explore more of Mexico. Like it's just kind of that urge to explore, and then also with feeling more comfortable and just like kind of all Latin America is kind of where my head's at with that.
Okay, I've been on record saying no sane gringo can stay in Latin America more than 6 months straight. You stay here all the time. You love it. When are you going to grow up a little and go to Europe and other parts of this world?
I think the real reason why I'll do that is when I like especially this. That's why I'm very very committed and bullish on this new things we're launching. We have a lot of things we're launching, but this is the main thing we're launching. And then I also have custom deals with other individuals where I'll be able to give the people in my community, like people in my community, they will get a discount to use the services. So they can get a discount to get their Paraguay residency. They get a discount, and then I obviously get an affiliate commission as well. So like it's kind of a win-win. So I'm very bullish on kind of what I'm doing here right now, and the reason why is because like although I have location freedom right now, all my it's tied to all my existing clients, right? Like it's tied to a different. It's not as pure freedom where it's tied to hopping on calls and all this stuff. So like as far as when I'll kind of quote unquote like grow up and explore more, it will be the main thing will be when I'm fully location dependent. Like when I don't have to when my income doesn't rely on me talking on the phone or on a Zoom call at certain times on Western time zone, that's when I'll do more of that. And that's why I'm kind of really bullish in what I'm doing right now. And also the caveat in that is also my mission right now, for what I built is I want to explore basically everywhere in Latin America before I do that. Doesn't mean I won't do a trip for a month to Europe, but like I want to do that. So like as far as kind of going back to my list, like before I really start going a lot more in Europe and probably Southeast Asia and Asia or Japan, I'd love to go to Japan. Like, before I start doing that, I have places to check off. I want to check off Ecuador, like Quito, Cuenca, some all the trips like Galapagos, all that. I want to check that off. I want to check Colombia off. I've already done it, but I want to check off. I want to go longer to Bogota. I want to go to Barranquilla. I want to go to the coffee district. I want to go more on the coast as well, along Barranquilla, like maybe check out Cartagena. I want to check off all of Central America. I want to do Guadalajara in Mexico. I want to do Monterrey in Mexico. I want to do maybe a few beach town in Mexico. In Brazil, I want to do the Northeast, maybe a little bit even in the north. Just check out that. I don't know what it's like, but check it out. I want to do the south, Porto Alegre, I've been Curitiba, and then I also want to do like Chile. I want to do a bit more of Uruguay. So like that's probably for me in the next couple years. I'm still gonna be LATAM mostly, and then once I've done that, then I'm gonna start getting into more the other like the Euro and all that and Asia and all that good stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
got time. You're 24 right now, right?
yeah. 24. Yeah, yeah. Just 24.
Yeah, you got a lot of time. So I know you don't have it all figured out, but right now in your brain, and we'll look back at this in some years, where does the next 6 years look like for you? Are you going to start settling down, have a base by the time you're 28, 27? Just spitball with me so we can look back at it in some years.
Sure. Yeah, so for me, I'll tell you exactly where it's going and what I'm going to be working on. I really am going all in right now. I'm still managing my main clients and it's stable and all's good, but I'm really want to go all in on content. That's really what I'm focused on, and I think there's a big opportunity. I think that Twitter's great, but the real eyeballs are on the other platforms. Like I mean, an account with 10,000 on Twitter is basically an account with 100,000 on other platform, right? It's probably like 10x. So like I'm really, really going all in on literally starting this week on short form content. I'm gonna start doing 2 YouTube videos a week. I'm going all in kind of on that. That's kind of what I see for myself, and I'm also going to. That's right now. Right now, the whole focus is just provide as absolute much value as I can possibly provide to people that are in our lifestyle. They're kind of digital nomads. I don't like the term really, but this don't really like they're kind of digital nomads, quote unquote. Provide as much value as possible to them. Become the guy. Like on Twitter, I'm probably one of the main guys. I think now on in the nomad space, one of the main guys. But do the same thing on YouTube. Do the same thing on TikTok. Do the same thing on Reddit. Do that, cement myself there, build up on the side and build up the business so I can replace my income, fully free with the online money, like the online stuff. And then down the road as well, I see myself starting a travel channel. I really see myself doing like kind of entertainment travel stuff. So that's kind of right now where I see myself. As far as settling down, um yeah, I mean, I'm not. It's not that I'm not that far away from. I'm not that far away. Like from doing that. To be honest, like I don't know if I'll. I don't think I'll. I think I like my kind of plan is this is actually to I want to get. I'm kind of like a weird kind of guy with. I want the different passports and stuff. I don't know why that is, but like my plan is I'd like to have my first kid actually in Brazil. To get the Brazilian passport for them and for myself and for everyone. So I think kind of like that. And I don't think I'm gonna actually settle on a base until my kid is close to ready for until like my first kid is like 5, probably like when they're ready for kindergarten is when I'll probably like okay I'm doing a base and I think for my base kind of a weird base I'm probably gonna do but yeah, so that's kind of the plan is just all in on content, um rip it all
So what is that?
platforms,
10
travel
years?
channel later.
You're not gonna have a kid.
No,
You're not gonna have a kid anytime soon. That's like 10 years in the making. You're talking about.
no, I don't know if it's 10 years. I could easily have my first kid in I could easily have my first kid by what age am I? I'm 24. I could easily have my first kid by like 28, 29, 27, 30. Like I think it's a high probability of probably my first kid
Yeah, and
before
then another
30.
another 5 years of traveling. You just said.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. So maybe it's yeah, you're right. So maybe I'm
So
not selling
so
now for
you're bought
7
into
years,
this
6
travel
years,
life. You
5.
don't think
Yeah, I love
Graham?
it,
You
bro.
don't think you're
I
gonna
love
get
it.
bored?
I
You don't think you're gonna get bored?
I haven't. I mean, it could always if it because the thing is the nice thing is it's the flexibility. If it happens, it happens. But I really don't think so. I mean, you've been doing it for a long time too. I don't know. Maybe you're getting bored now, but you've been doing it how long? What, 10 years now? You've been doing it. How long you been doing it?
How old do you think I am? No,
How long you been doing it?
20,
No, I thought
2018
you
is the last
when
time
you
I lived
start. I
in
thought
the
you.
USA. 2018 is the last time I lived in the
Yeah.
USA.
So okay,
So like
okay.
six
Well,
years.
7 years, 6, 7 years. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I don't know, but I don't think so because the thing is like I can also choose like the thing is like I mean I get tired when I do what I get tired of is if I do all the time 1 month like fuck that shit's crazy, but like dude if I do 3 months of each place, go back to Canada for a month or two in the summer, like it's pretty hard, at least for my personality type. It's pretty hard to get tired. I get tired when I'm in like dude, if I'm in one place for a year, I'm ready to fucking like, dude. I think it's less time for me, but obviously, eventually, I'm gonna have a base. I think this place called this other place, but yeah, like yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I get tired to be honest. You can, as you know, you can modify. You can when you're feeling really travel bug, you can go 1 month, 1 month, 1 month. When you're feeling more chill, you can do 3 months one place. You can 6 months. No, I don't think I'm gonna get tired. And that's kind of the plan. The next probably next 5+ years is just continuing what I've been doing and doing more of it.
Yeah. So you buy into the philosophy then that you can still build something in the online world and not in the real world because people that keep traveling, you're never fully setting roots and creating
Yeah.
what is real, right? You can do an online world, but is that really true or is it fake in the end? Like, I mean, what are you buying into?
I think it's very true. I will say what I will say as people a lot of times like, oh no, it's not. A lot of people in the space. When I tell people in the space, I'm like, dude, you know what? Like that are in that space, like the travel space. Like I'm like, dude, like there's a 0% chance um that if you have your own business or you're like a sales guy, like there's a 0% chance that traveling around is you're gonna be more productive. Like there's a 0% chance that you're gonna you like 0% chance. Some people are like, oh no, you can. It's just not true. So like I agree with that's my perspective. That being said, it depends on what you're doing. So meaning like for if you're like a W-2 guy, um it doesn't really have much of an effect, right? If you or alternatively, if you have kind of got yourself out of the business, you're making a lot of money, and you are kind of like just very high leveraged, you can also travel a lot, right? So like that's that perspective. Now, as far as your question, which was your question was oh it was building of the route. I agree with what you said. Or like you said you're not building roots. I agree with that. For me though, like I don't have much importance right now for building roots right now. I think it's very important down the road, but right now I don't have much importance. Especially with where the world's going. I wouldn't want to be. I would not want to be locked into one city, one economy. I wouldn't want that, right? So like I think as far as and I think as far as for me, the happy medium, the more and more and more that I'm going to be building and growing this community, a Nomad Club, the more I'm growing Nomad Club is the more like it now my travel, right? It's now it's now tied up with my business. So now it's like it's kind of circumventing the thing where like it's very productive, right? So like that's my thoughts as far as roots. Yeah, I'm not building your roots. Yeah, you're building a line. I think roots are important, but I think for a guy like me, I don't think roots are important until I have kids, until I settle down. Then I'll settle in one place, then I'll do all that stuff. But
See, but I'm not even just talking about roots. I'm talking about
oh, you
actually
know,
building stuff. Okay, building product lines, and you
yeah,
have Amazon warehouses, or you have a hotel somewhere, and you're in with the community, and you're supporting the local high
yeah,
school. Like stuff that you can see, you can touch, that is real.
yeah.
Because the stuff we do, a lot of it is built online, and yeah, online has become more of the real world, and it's all mixed and whatnot. But I'm asking you a deeper question: is this really what we should be putting our time and effort into, or should we freaking look outside and touch the grass and
Mhm.
actually build at different locations?
Yeah, I think my perspective is this. I think it depends on. I think it really depends person to person, and I think it depends on that person's priorities. So, meaning, there's a lot of people. I would say probably 80% of people, the kind of lifestyle that those of you guys that are watching that aspire to live or that you guys already live, which is the nomadic lifestyle, I think 80% of people, maybe more than that, it's just not for them. That's so for them, definitely build roots, do that. Now, for the 20% of people that this lifestyle is for you, I think for 99% of you, including myself, this is not a internal lifestyle. There's not a lifestyle that you're going to do for every single year of your life. I think it's a good lifestyle in seasons. I think there's three kind of seasons this lifestyle is good for, in my opinion. Season number one is good for is for the kind of well, and it depends on the person too. I will say because there's cons, but I think season one is good for is if you are a youngish dude, let's call it even honestly even under 30, maybe even a little early 30s, maybe even, but like whatever. Let's say you're under 30, just make it easy. For a guy like that, if you work and you work remote or your business is fully remote. For a guy like that, that's one camp. It's good, do it for 4 years, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, however many years, and then go build roots. It's good for that person. Second person is good for there's a certain type of people, which is this is the not the majority, by the way, not the majority. No, there's certain people that they're never planning on having kids. They never want to settle down. They just want to live kind of like the playboy lifestyle forever. I don't think it's going to be the most satisfying and fulfilling life. But for that 1% of people that's kind of like that, yeah, just do it forever, whatever. You're a different person, right? And then the last person that I've found it's really good for is actually, I'm sure you come across. I'm coming across quite a few guys that are like 50 years old, 60 years old, maybe recently divorced or divorced, whatever. The kids are out of the house, that type as well. And those are kind of the camps. The young, the bit on the older end, or the guys that are going to settle down. Now, to answer your question succinctly, I think the general guideline for the vast majority of people is this is an advisable lifestyle for season, but I think for the vast majority of people, it's a seasonal thing. You do it for 3, 4, 5 years, and then once you have your girl, you have your wife, whatever, you're planning on having kids, then you go settle back down in your home country or a new base you found that you want to live in long term. Is my perspective.
All right, nice. Good talk, Graemito. Now tell me, how do they find the link? I'll put it in this YouTube video, and its launch and when, just the final details.
Sure. Yeah. So He's gonna put it in the link in the description. Nomad Club. He'll put the link down there. And as far as to finding it, look up Nomad Club School, and school is SKOOL. So Nomad Club School. Press join. It's $20 a month. Or if you want, use a one
Hey,
time. You
why
can do
not
one
WAP?
a one.
Why'd you choose school? Everyone is leaving school.
Um, WAP is just too confusing. And I'll tell if you talk to people that use WAP, there's a lot of marketing about it. But if you talk to anyone that actually opened the WAP app, the majority of people are going to tell you that WAP is ultra confusing to use. And these are not people that are 47 years old or 72 years old. These are people that are 22, 25, 19. Like, it is extremely confusing to use. I went on WAP myself. I have my buddy Norman. My buddy Norman is. I'm not the most tech savvy guy, to be totally frank with you. I don't think Nick is either. We're not really. We're more talking guys more than tech savvy guys. But my buddy Norman, he's super like just like he's a software guy, whatever, dude. For him, he's 25 or 26, 20, 25. Him too. He's like it's impossible to use. Like, that's the problem. It's just it's probably a good product, but like it's hard to use. Where school is great because a lot of my audience, actually, funny enough, I think it's a bit different than some of the other audiences, but in the space. But actually, funny enough, a lot of my audience actually is 40 plus. It's guys that are like, they have some money or whatever, and they like cigars and like nice restaurants. They kind of follow me because of that. So like, for guys like that, if you're 50, if I'm 24 years old, my buddy's 25, he's tech savvy, and if we can't even use it, dude, like, imagine when there's 53 or 62 or whatever, right? So like, that's why it's school. Is It's very simple to use, and it does everything you need. It has a community, it has the guides, it's simple. It's a very, very just a great product. Um, yeah, it's just a great product, and also the nice thing with school, I think WAP takes a cut. School, I pay school monthly subscription, and then all the money I make, I keep it. I keep it. No cut. So
Beleza. Okay, I'll definitely check it out. I'm gonna look into it. I believe you're gonna create a good product and do good things with it, but I won't shill it until I know for a fact, right? But I look forward to seeing what comes of it, and we'll go from there. But I'm happy you're building this. I think it could be a great service for people, a needed service, and just stay focused and make it happen, Mr. Gramito.
okay, Pete's bro. Thanks for having me. Okay, talk soon.